Alright, y'all, so last night I was going to upload both episodes of Atlanta, My Ending Explains, but then since Atlanta had two episodes, I didn't get to finish both of them until like 10:30, and then I had to get my thoughts together, and that was like 11, and then I noticed my Pearl video something was wrong with it. I had to re-upload it, and so I didn't get to record till like 11:20 ish, and then by the time I edit and everything, I put up episode 1 at 12 a.m. I can't even talk right now, and I was just like, okay, I gotta wait because I'm not gonna upload some video at like 1 a.m. right? So I'm pretty much recording this in the morning now, so I'm gonna talk about episode 2. But best believe this coming week we will definitely get back on schedule, and you will have the Atlanta episodes as soon as they come out right after. So it's gonna be fun, and I'm excited to keep covering this series because the first two episodes were amazing, and I'm very curious to see what comes next. This one was very much so about therapy, and therapy is something I think that is very stigmatized still today, and whether you believe in it or not, you do have to admit that some people do need therapy, and I think a lot of people need therapy just to talk about some things, because bottling it up, it ain't always the best idea. But we're not going to get into that debate right here today. Let's talk about the episode where we see Ern go into therapy, and at the same time we see a woman who is trying to become an author become an author. Maybe not. So pretty much this story is split in two, as we follow both Ern and also we follow this woman Lisa, who is trying to get her book published, become this famous author, and she is kind of like a little bit like, I don't know if we can trust her or not, as we see her in the beginning eyeing a man, and we'll get more into that at the end of this video. Ern is going to therapy. He's talking about what happened at Princeton. He's talking about a new possible like job offer that is in LA, and he is sort of insecure about it because he doesn't want to leave Lottie and Van because he doesn't know if they will follow. And so he's going through all of these emotions, talking to it with the therapist. The therapist, by the way, was that the guy who was always saying like, we'll be right back with Atlanta or a new episode of Atlanta? Somebody tell me in the comments down below. And so Ern finally comes clean about what exactly happened with Princeton. What was the reason that he left Princeton, as we know from season 1. And so he basically tells the therapist that what happened was he had made a white friend, a white woman over there, and they were kind of getting close and all of this. She pretty much started these allegations towards him, and he didn't want to deal with everything that was going on. He said that these allegations didn't have any weight, but how would it look though, right? Even if they don't have any weight, him being a black man and she being a white woman in a very white school, it was like, yeah, this is not gonna work. So he just got up and left because of this, even though it still kind of followed him even as he left. He also opens up, well, he doesn't open up about this, but the therapist touches upon it, that maybe in this moment of Princeton and sort of the repressions he has for it is because he felt powerless, and he felt powerless as well when a family member was sort of taking advantage of him when he was younger. We don't get much more details about this, but I think this is a very interesting thing that we didn't know about Ern, which had been plaguing him. Whether he was abused or what extent that abuse was, we don't know, but we know that something happened when he was younger with a family member, and I'm curious to see if this is going to be talked about more as we get into this final season and we're really learning more about Ern. We also learn that he's having like some heart problem, he thinks, or as the therapist and himself and other doctors say, maybe it's due to anxiety, stress, panic attacks, all that stuff. So there's a lot going on with Ern right now, and he's really just trying to navigate through all of this. Now as we jump to our other story with Lisa, she is pretty much about to get her book published after her manuscript gets read by a book agent who books her to go do this reading at a library because there will be a scout there who might just sign her on, and he's pretty much like, you know what, this is your chance, you gotta go do it. So my best advice is just go do this. And we see Tracy working with the guy, and you're just like, Tracy's over here, like what is going on, right? Because last time we saw Tracy, Ern wasn't too happy seeing Tracy, right? So we see that she goes and does this library reading, and she brings her dog with her. The dog isn't allowed, and she says that she works at the airport and it's allowed there, so what's the problem? Librarian's like, no dog, get ready for this book reading. We cut back to Ern and the therapist as we hear more Ern talking about this new opportunity that he might be getting, and he was also told to go talk at the school at Princeton, given an honorary degree and everything. And he tells the story of him, Lottie, and Van going to the airport, and pretty much being denied access in there because a woman said that their passport was not passport ready or travel ready, something like that, and that they could not go. And pretty much this upsets Ern, and he gets into a whole altercation with the woman. We don't see this, by the way. This is all being told by Ern's perspective. And he's like that this woman was just being racist. It was this white lady that was working at the airport. Keep that in mind. You already know. And so he goes and gets another woman, a black woman, who says that that woman's always been like that. That's what she always does. And to not worry about it. But he doesn't want to travel no more. And that's why he didn't go to Princeton. He then tells the therapist that he is very much so like having these anxiety and panic attack feelings because he wants Van and Lottie to follow him to Los Angeles. He hasn't broken the news to them, so he doesn't know if they will or they won't. So it's a big deal going on with Ern and this Los Angeles trip. He eventually tells the therapist that he doesn't think he needs therapy anymore now, that he let all of these feelings out and told the therapist how he was feeling and that this was the last session. They part ways, and that's where that one concludes for now. We cut back to the Lisa story where we see that she is now telling the story to a group of kids. The scout is there and she's feeling on top of the world. As she is telling her story, the kids are just like, this story's stupid. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to sit here no more. And they just get up and leave, and the scout as well. And everybody around Lisa just leaves. Lisa is distraught, and then we cut to a bar where this is being played. And I was like, is this like some surreal moment, some dreamlike-esque type thing? Was this always a show or what? No, it turns out that Ern is having a watch party to see this woman's downfall because this is the woman at the airport that gave Ern, Van, and Lottie some trouble, and now Ern is getting payback. Al and Darius look at Ern a little weird after this of how petty he actually got, even to the point that Darius is like, this is beyond petty, I think. And Ern is just smiling, sitting there like, come on, it's funny, right? This is like not bad. I had to get back at her for everything she did. We see Al and Darius just leave Ern there alone, and Ern is there sitting in his own pettiness. It even is a little bit of a like red flag when Tracy tells Al to watch out for his cousin because his cousin can get pretty petty. Ern is like, you're next, Tracy, and we don't know if Ern's playing or not. Even Tracy doesn't know this, and I think this is what gets Al and Darius a little bit more worried about Ern. And leaving Ern there, we just see that Ern is just sitting there just thinking like, damn, I think I did something really bad. And he is just like, maybe I do need some more therapy. And that's pretty much how our episode ends right there. So overall, I thought that this was a great episode. Definitely really more of an Ern episode, more of us learning about him inside out. And the Lisa story itself is an accessory to this Ern story about how far does Ern go and how much of his unresolved anger he still has to take it out on somebody like Lisa. Now, of course, Lisa is still somebody who is a bigot and still wants to sort of be in the whole like thing with black culture, as well as we see the man that she is sort of like thirsting over is a black man, and the music she listens to as well. And so I think it sort of goes with this whole thing about in today's society we see a lot of people who want to have the black culture, but when it comes down to being an ally, it's like I don't want nothing to do with this. But when it comes to consuming the arts and all of that, it's like, okay, I want all of this, I'll take it. But you know what, when it comes down to being down and being there and being a supporting voice and all of this and just being an ally, I'm gonna step back. I don't want nothing to do with this, you know. I think that was sort of what the Lisa representation was, as we saw her like how she really was when Ern tells the story of how they were treated at the airport, and the other coworker can back that up by saying she always treats everybody who is not white the same way. So we see Lisa just trying to be this person who wants to take and consume the art, but I have nothing to do when it comes to being an ally for y'all. I'm sorry. That's who Lisa is. And I think that that was something that's important to tell, because we see this a lot more often now with people who are pretty much just like... So I thought that that was a very interesting story in itself to tell. But overall, the main theme here is Ern trying to get better, trying to handle all of this weight that comes with being a manager now, and trying to figure out his way in this world and take this spite that he says he gets power from and completely take it away from him, because He might feel this power, but deep down he feels even more powerless about his situation, because no matter what he does and all of that, like this whole thing he spent, he doesn't even tell us how much he spent to get all of this done, because everybody around Lisa was an actor, so he spent a good amount of money doing all of this just for this finite moment of feeling I'm above you now. And does that really make Ern happy in the end? And I think this is what Al and Darius were trying to get across him, and ultimately they couldn't. That's why they just walked away. So I'm curious to see where we see Ern later down the road in this season, if he's able to heal after all of this, especially after all of the baggage we hear that he's carrying around with Princeton and the family. With Princeton and the family member, and also just trying to feel adequate and being there for Lottie and Van as well. So very good episode, honestly, diving deep into his psyche and just being a character study for Ern. So pretty much Ern orchestrated all of this to make Lisa feel like she was going to get a book deal and everything. Everybody was an actor. That was the reason we saw Tracy as well in there, because Tracy was paid to be here. And so he pretty much orchestrated all of this where she would feel like she finally made it, and then she would have this humiliating moment at the end, and then that would be his payback for what happened at the airport. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on this last episode we got of Atlanta. I'm excited to see what comes next. I will be covering all of the episodes. I already covered episode 1. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. We talk more about that episode over there. But make sure you're hitting that subscribe button down below, hitting that notification bell. We're trying to get to 25K. I think we can get to 25K this Sunday. So as soon as we get there, we will talk about this giveaway, which is going to be exciting. And I'm ready to do this for sure, because we've been talking about it, I think, since the summer. And we're finally getting to that 25K. So super excited. Thank you so much. But as always, that's going to do it for me. Check out our videos on the left. Make sure you check out all of our other videos on Atlanta. If you want to watch season 3 recaps, I have those as well, so go check them out. But as always, I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.